Hot dang, I knew you'd show up. I'm John Zidar. This is Wednesday, November 10th, and you're watching On the Top and Hot, brought to you by Pennybois. Yeah, they bring you those PB alerts. You've probably heard of them. Everybody loves them. But you really need to check out PBU, Pennybois University. There is a better way of trading, and they can show you how to do it. So what I do here every day is due diligence, DD and research on OTC and penny stocks. Now sometimes I just dive headfirst into it and we see what we can find. Other times I bring you stuff I have found, like we're going to do today. So follow me and I'll share. Now I come to this site often through the day. This is otcmarkets.com. Now it does have all the SEC and FINRA filings for the financials and the stock, and that's primarily what I do use it for, but they correlate the information really interestingly that I can make use of it. One of the pages I like most is the current market here. This is the most active stocks on the entire OTC market, all 11,000 plus. And I zoom in here on the advancers. Now you can just search a dollar, a nickel, or all the stocks. I like to look at them all. Now I come here through the day. It is live. It is constantly changing. I think there may be a 15-minute delay on it. I think that's right. And you have to hit the refresh button. It doesn't just change by itself. But I jump over here and I check out the trades. I look for who is doing the most trades and see what's going on with them. And this is how I look for opportunities through the day. And while I was going through the day, I found a few that I wanted to share with you. Now, the first one you can see I already had highlighted down here, XALL. They did 479 trades today. Now, I don't presume that that's one or two people. I figure that's a couple hundred people at least, and that's a crowd, and that's what I'm looking for. They did 67 million shares, 21% gains, may have been higher, could have dropped, because I looked at this much earlier in the day, and I think it was more impressive then, but we'll see. So let's see what we got for XALL. All right, XALL, let's go over to the overview page. The overview page, if you just scroll on down, it'll give you highlights. It'll give you the freshest news and the freshest filings. You can see if there's anything current. We've got no current news and we have no current filings. Not really. They did just file at the end of last month, but I doubt that would have any effect on today. What was the excitement for today? Ooh, pretty good. They normally do about 3 million shares. They did 22 times as much today. 20 times as much volume, 67 million shares. Is that the start to something? What's their share structure like? Little high. They got 411 million shares. It's not going to break your back, but it's not going to give you any giant bounces either. Is this company making any money right now? Well, it's a slow load, but yes, they are. Looks like they had a hard time coming through COVID. They lost a lot of it. But this last year, they did just under $1 million. You take the 3 zeros there and throw it behind that number. So they're at $800,000 right now. And let's see if they have any 8Ks, which are material changes. This will tell you if something important's happened in the company recently. Nope, don't see anything there either. So the last thing we got is news. Now, this is interesting because we did just kind of glance and we can see there's nothing since, what is that, July? Now you can see stuff here that comes from online. Here we've got something. News came out today. Exalis joint venture, GeoBot, to create software as a service cryptocurrency trading solution. All right, here's the news. Now, this wasn't actually put up on the OTC market, so you have to look down because as you saw on the first overview page, it didn't show this news, and it is a press release. So you may have to look a little bit deeper sometimes. Let's get rid of that advertisement. There we go. So it tells us that Exalis Holdings, a fintech holding company providing innovative technology and financial services, announced a joint venture with Exalis Capital and Acteria Enterprises. Acteria is a software as a service solution that will allow crypto traders to easily implement their own unique trading strategies, automate execution of cryptocurrency trades. So there you go. They did have news today, and as I told you before, all these trading exchanges, all these cryptocurrency things, they are booming right now. We just can't see the ceiling. We can't see the walls. We don't know how far this stuff is going to grow. But I can tell you this much. It's all being done on the blockchain. And blockchain is growing at a much stronger rate than internet did. And blockchain is much more controlled than the internet is. So I think we're going to see a lot of growth in the blockchain, a lot of growth in the companies involved in blockchain, and these cryptocurrency exchanges and software as a service companies, they're gonna explode, folks. This is kind of like the tech boom was, the dot-com boom back in the late 90s, early 2000s. You know, all these dot-coms came up and you didn't have a clue which one was going to be big. Well, that's what's happening right now in the cryptocurrency realm. There's just things popping up everywhere, and some of them are going to end up being the giants, and a lot of them are just going to fall away. So let's go take a look at XALL over on the charts. All right, so we're looking at XALL on TOS. That is Thinkorswim. It's a free trading platform. If you're interested, you don't have one, just go over to TD Ameritrade, sign up for an account. That's free too, and you can have this. Just download it, install it, and use it. You don't have to trade with Ameritrade, but keep the account open. If you close it, they'll just stop your Thinkorswim. All right, this is a 6-month, 4-hour chart. You can see it's been on a downtrend from corner to corner here, and we've had a strong amount of volume here this last day. So this news was very, very big. There's a lot of excitement in this sector. If you can call cryptocurrency a sector, it's going to become its own, isn't it? And I'm talking about stocks, not the cryptocurrency itself. So everything has been coming down very hard. This low bubble, we're not going to constitute as the low. That was a freak there. So we are, you know, right now, if I was to come, I do believe that really is the low, folks. We are down there right now. Let me get my regular thing there. Yeah, that shows that we are at a low. We hit it. Actually, I drew my line a little spitballed. There was the low right there, and it bounced off that low and is now taken off, and simultaneously, coincidentally, it happened to run right into news, which launched it. Now you can see, as I said earlier, this was more impressive. Let's take a look at this. All right, so she hit a high today of 9,009, and she started the day out here at 005. So that gives it about 80% gains in the jump. And when did that jump end at? Oh, that ended pretty late in the day, actually. Yeah, I guess that clock's right. I got to add 3 hours to mine, so that's like 1 in the afternoon. 1 in the afternoon, and she took a very, very fast fall, folks. Look, she did all of that jump in 1 5-minute period. All that bounce. That's probably when that news came out. And it really toppled after that. Let's come in on the 1 minute. Let's see how that broke down over the minute. So you had a bounce, a good jump on the 2nd minute, solid jump on the 3rd, a little bit of climb on the 4th, and you hit your high on the 5th minute. It got level, started to drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is why you watch on the 1 minute, folks. If you're playing a fast play, then you want the shortest time span. You want to see every movement the stock makes. If you're playing it for a year down the road, well, you can look at the daily. The daily's good enough for you. You can see a low day and you buy on a low day. But if you're trying to get in and out on the same day, you need to look at the minute chart. And this would have told us, get out as soon as you hit that high bubble, did that pullback. If it was strong, it would have bounced back. But it went sideways, 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 and then a big drop. By golly, if you didn't catch the warning here, you better have caught it there and sold. Out, out. Doesn't matter what it does. Take the money and run. You can always get back into another one and make some more money. If this continues running, don't worry about that. You'll never lose money letting stuff run. If you always take money instead of waiting for it to give you more, which is how most of us lose our money, you'll do just fine, I promise. Now we can see the 50% line has been drawn here, and it did stay above it for most of the day. I mean, it crashed through it, came back up like a rubber ball. It fell hard under the water and came back to the top and floated until it just sunk. And here is our 200-day SMA, which is our strongest SMA. and it broke through it, and it's hanging on to it right now. It's struggling not to fall any further. So does this look like it's going to continue running? No, it doesn't. Is the news good? Yes, the news is good. But it sounds like they have some work to do to get it set up. They've just acquired it, so they got to do the meshing, get it all working. So this will probably dip some more. If it's already hit the 200, breaking through its halfway point of its surge from the bottom to the top, if you come down less than 50%, now we're down to 25%. Yeah, I think this is going to get to be a better price. But if you like the stock, do more DD. This could be a good buying price back down here at around, looks like you could probably get this somewhere at the 0055 range if it breaks that 200. The next one we're going to take a look at is NNAX. Can't remember exactly what time I saw this one, but each one of these impressed me when I saw them, which is why I grabbed them up. All right, this had 1,067 trades today. Lots of people at this one. 9.3 million shares. They finished the day at 40%. This is NNAX. Let's see what we got here. NNAX, New Momentum Corporation. They had 40% gains, like I said, at just over 4 cents, 4.5. They are on the QB. They are on the middle tier, so they audit all of their financials. They are very transparent. This makes them a better stock, which is what the QB is, the better tier. Let's see what we can learn here. What sort of excitement was there around this company today? Quite a lot, actually. They do about 350,000 shares. Today they did 9 million. So you're looking at about 25 times. Is that right? 3 times 9. Yeah, about 25 times their normal volume. That's a lot of extra volume. What's their share count like? They do have a low float. They've only got 20 million shares out of 172 million. So they've got a lot of institutional investors, or they have big whale investors, or the management just has a lot invested in this. Is there any news that we can see on this company? No, not for a few months. There's been nothing, and they've got a video here, and it's about booking your vacations. That they're a company that helps you book online, but they get away from all of the things you don't like about booking online, the extra fees, having to book in advance and pay in advance, all these things. So that's what they're about. Finances, are they making any money? Just started making money. $250,000 last year, nothing before that at all. And is there any special disclosures that will tell us something? No, they had an S1. That was a while ago, so there's nothing there. Now, I did do some running around, and I really couldn't find anything until I went over to Twitter, and I looked at the chart. All right, so I run over to Twitter because there's thousands of people who are doing research. They like to share what they find, and they throw it all on the table. May not all be accurate, but at least it saves us all the time of having to go out and find it. Now, when I came here today earlier, I had found this tweet right here, and I've purposely found it because there's a whole bunch of them, but the fact is it's been retweeted over and over again. That this has been retweeted by people because it seems to be the first notice of what was about to happen. This could get absolutely nutty. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but the time right down here, there you go, 10:47. That's when he posted this, 10:47 in the morning. And you can see how it was set up. Now this is on the, I'm having a hard time looking. I think this is on the 6 month, 3 month. 3 month it looks like. In either case, he noticed a big poke here and it broke. Right here is where it's sitting, and it went higher than all of that for a long time. See, you are here. I like that. So he announced this, and then everybody started posting. They started repeating the post. Now, what is the big deal about it? Yeah, it's set up, but so what? It's because of how high it has been in the past. It's really low right now. It hasn't had anything going on. Well, instead of me talking about it, let's go look at it. NNAX, 6 month, 4 hour. Very sparse. Not a lot of shares being traded. These dashes, there's just single trades on some days. And you can see it has hardly any volume. It's had some pokes in here, but nothing like this. Nothing like that. Now remember, we didn't see any news. We didn't see any press releases. We didn't see anything from the company. All we saw was one guy's chart on Twitter saying, hey, this is set up for a blowout. And it is up here at $1.60. And it is now, the price at this current time is 4.5 cents. Now let's come in on the 5 minute, no, I want to come in on the 1 hour 20 day. All right, you can see she's going up and down, hit a low bubble here, and didn't have a whole lot of, nothing. And what do I say? When you have a low bubble with a stock that has value, you normally see the stock short run. At least there's a good solid bounce off of that bubble because the stock has value and people take advantage of that. Well, this didn't do that. Not at all. Not until today. Now, let's come in on that 5 minute. What did I say? 10:47, right? 10:30. 10:30. Okay, there you go, folks. I can see it right there. You see this top right there? Let me get my money line so we can all see it together. At the top of this one right there was its break. It was going sideways, round and round, not getting anything higher than here. Then it broke. That was what he was showing us. That was what he showed us. And that was at 10:37 he showed us. Once that post got out on Twitter, come on, folks, there's nothing else to stimulate this stock to move. Maybe there's some inside buyers that I didn't find, but I didn't look. But somehow I doubt it. And this thing ran from that time all the way till, that's about 12:30. So you had 2 hours of run out of somebody pointing out a technical of a high hit, which is all it was, a high. And it took off. And it's come down. Now, if we take 50% of that, let's get rid of all these lines here so we can see these easily. Yeah, bye-bye. All right, so our low was right there, and our high was up there. So, basically from 9, we're subtracting 3.2. 9.5, we subtract 3.2. So that gives us 6.3. That's 3.3 off of this. That takes us to 6.2. 6.2 would be about right there. So there's your halfway point. So it came down and never even slowed down for that. Just blew right through it. Didn't show any strength at all. No desire. Also blew through the 50 SMA, which that's a strong support. It's like plywood. You can call the 200 a 2x4. This would be plywood, and it just blew right through that. Look at that 10. Didn't slow up at all. Now, it seems to have hit a bottom here. And let's see where that bottom lines up to. It's old. Right there, folks, right? We're right back to its old highs. So it's not doing anything special right now. It took the jump because of the tweet, and it's come back down, and it's laying in the street. So it's a little bit above where it started. Is it going to run again? Maybe if somebody tweets about it. It does look good. I can't say it doesn't look good. You've got a green bar here. The MACD is coming up, even though it's under the signal line. The RSI is over 63. The 10 looks like an imminent crossing over the 20, heading towards the 50. But based on what we know, I don't see this going anywhere but sideways, if not down. But you see how easily a stock can move if information is posted in the right place? Wow. Now this next stock we're looking at is also on the QB, the middle tier of the OTC, so all of their financials are audited. Great transparency, lots of information. This is URYL. They had 357 trades today, but only 317,000 shares were moved, which isn't a lot. They did 69% gains by the end of the day. Let's go see what they're all about. All right. URYL, United Royal Holdings Corp., 78.5 cents, 69% gains today. They got all their boxes ticked. Have independent directors for when they choose to uplist. You must have them. They've already got them. And they are a shell company, which means they're not making any money. And the SEC knows that, and that is the way it's supposed to be until something changes. which is really why I'm here. So what sort of excitement was around this stock today? Well, she normally does 56,000 shares. Today she did 6 times as much. 6 times as much is nothing to be overlooked. And her share structure is not bad at all. With 151 million outstanding, they've only got 17 million in the float. And it possibly could be 8 million. But let's just go with 17 million, which is low enough. Financials, of course, there's going to be nothing there because they are a shell company. Now, they did have some disclosures right here today and one on the 5th, and both have to do with the same thing. They had news come out today. Now, this news is great news because it changes their shell status. It gets them making money, and that is always exciting when your company has not been doing anything for months, if not longer. So they entered into a letter of intent to get with True North Quantum. That was all the way back in July. Finally now in November, it's completed. It's actually been completed. All right, tells us here that they are a cloud platform. Northern Shield is what they've developed. The cloud platform is for building institutional grade decentralized applications. That's blockchain for fintech, medtech, agtech, and health tech. They've even got it already over here on the business description. United Royal Holdings Corp has changed its name to True North Quantum, and they just completed the deal today. I don't know if this was put in here today or a couple days ago because pending is still in approval. Now, something I did find very interesting when I was doing research on this. Let me show you. There are a couple OTC companies here that are sharing the same directors and personnel. This is the information from the OTC for URYL. You can see here that the CEO is Gary Robert Bartholomew, and he is part of the board of directors along with William, David, and Whithold. Well, over here for Spanef, another company, totally different company, they have Gary, Miles, William, and Whithold. The exact same guys except for Miles over here. And then a third company, CNER, China New Energy, which notice these two share the same address. Gary Robert Bartholomew is the CEO of this one. So he's a director of this one, the CEO of URYL, and the CEO of CNER. What does that mean? You know, what it can mean in some situations is that companies are going to come together. They have something in common. It just makes better sense to go with the strongest company. So these two companies could move over into this company. But this company's working with energy. This company's working with something else. And now this company has a whole new company with them. A reverse merger, if you will. It was an acquisition, and they've become that new company. So all I'm pointing out is that Gary Robert Bartholomew is with a lot of companies, and the board of directors is the same between two of the companies. Little interesting. So let's go take a look at that chart and see what we got for this company. Oh boy, not an impressive chart, eh? This is 6-month, 4-hour for URYL. You can see she's had a low here of 23 cents, currently at 78. Her high on this screen is $1.81. But look at that SMA. That simple moving average has gone into the sky, and we can't even see what the price was. So let's go back a year just to see what we were at. $5.50 before it crashed. And it went out. It just stopped doing whatever it was in medical research and went into a coma, went into a deep sleep, and just woke up. Hit that low bubble and is bouncing up on the daily. Let's come in on that 5-day, 5-minute. All right, doesn't look great. This is the 5th. This is when they had that 10K, not 10K, 8K come out. The 8K came out on this day, and there was a lot of excitement, but it fell. I mean, that's 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then it lost it all. Went sideways the rest of the day, fell even further, hit a low bubble, which is not understandable, and then they consummated the deal today. And it doesn't look great, but they had a good bounce. They started the day off here at 47 cents and it went up to $1.05. So you had like 125% gains at its top, and that was pretty quick. Let's come in on the minute, see how fast that happened. All right, chances of you catching a first bounce were virtually nil. You'd have had to have your order ready to go as soon as the bell and got lucky. The second one fell, the second minute, you could have said, oh, this looks like it could go somewhere, but after a big drop like that, I don't know if you'd want in. But that was the second bounce. That's where you would have made your profit. After that, she just started falling, right? She's just started falling, but it does look like she kept about 50%. She's just kind of, now I just spitballed that in there, but you can see she is right around that area and sitting there. And what's important is that she's sitting on top of the 200. It's hit it twice and it has not broke through. That's a good sign. We don't want it to come through that 2x4. Let's look at the 5 minute on that. See what it looks like at the end of the day. All right, on the 5 minute, it's already broke through the 200, which is sad. That is not a good sign, and it's bouncing off the 10, which is not a very strong support. It did bounce up. It is coming up. It's gone above the 50, which is a stronger place to be. Do I expect this to run? Well, they are about to make income, and the business that they've gotten with is making money already. It's not like they're a startup company. I think they're doing $15 million a year or a quarter, something like that. Do your DD. I don't have all the facts right. We're just kind of glancing over this stuff. But for a ride tomorrow, I don't know about that. I think we'd have to wait to see where she goes with this. You may want to put it on a long watch list, but may be better stocks to look at, eh? The next stock that caught my attention today was SMCE. They are on the pink tier. They did over 1,000 trades today. Now, it wasn't that high when I looked at it, but obviously it caught my attention. They did 54 million shares, so they've definitely got something to look at. 31% gains by the end of the day. This is SMC Entertainment. Finished the day at 0091, just under a penny. Buy at a penny. Hits 2 cents, you've doubled your money. Hits 3 cents, you've tripled your money. Buying on the ones is a very, very strategic play. They've got all the green boxes ticked, so they're in good shape. This is a provider of venue-based, family-oriented entertainment products and services. Their strategy is to acquire undercapitalized operations of other entertainment service providers and bring additional investment to them and help them to grow. Kind of like a holdings company or an incubator company. A little bit going on there. Let's see what sort of excitement they had today. Wow. Whoa. All right, we got 177,000 trades a day, but they did 54 million today. In case you haven't done the math, that's 300 times. 300 times as much volume today as their normal days for the last month. That's impressive. Let's see, financials, have they been making any money? Not much. They've had a hard time through COVID. They're just getting back to pre-COVID times. So there's nothing really there to get excited about. Any fresh disclosures, any 8Ks or anything? They don't have anything current. So what about news? Well, let's see the share structure. Have we looked at that yet? No, we didn't. 123 million. Wow, they got a lot of authorized, 1.4 billion, about 692 million outstanding, and 123. So management and insiders own a lot of this, even though the float is kind of high, 123. All right, let's go check that news now. All right, what have we got here? News all the way back, cash, debt. All right, looks like the company has been changing their financial position here. They've been paying off debt. They have been selling off some of their assets, changed some of their management board and directors. So they've been revamping the company is what they've been doing. SMC Entertainment retains Ironclad Partners, LLC, to provide strategic planning service and assist in identifying potential partnerships and acquisitions. Well, that was on the 14th of last month, and here we are just about a month later, and they've done their job. Boom! SMC signs a letter of intent to acquire 100% equity interest in Genesis Financial Inc., a fintech-powered wealth management service provider. So, this isn't a done deal yet, but they have actually signed the letter of intent, so they are serious about it to get 100% of this company. The acquisition is valued at $45 million. Genesis operates its business mainly through 2 Australian regulated entities in wealth management, and they generate gross revenue of approximately $15 million. I was laughing because this is where I saw the $15 million. URLY, you'll have to check and see what that new company's revenues are. This is the company that is making $15 million. All right, just so we got our facts straight. So you can see that this company has now got another company on the books with them. Whatever money they were making, they got out of it. I don't know how they've been surviving, but now they've got something, and there was a lot of excitement around it. 300 times the volume today than yesterday. 300 times. That's incredible, folks. Let's go see what this chart looks like. Well, wowee, look at that, folks. This is SMCE 6-month 4-hour chart. Look at that high. There is nothing here. I just want to peekaboo to 1 year. Let's see here. Okay, this looks awfully big, but they've had bigger. Look at that. Wow, holy cow. So they do have some big bounces, even though it's got 123 million in the float. Every now and then it just literally hits the moon. All right, let's come back to that closer. All right, you can see I'm looking at the 20-day right now, and it really isn't doing anything. It had a little warm up here and started to do something, but there's nothing to really tell. A poke during pre-market, and then it took off. I'm coming down to the 5-minute, 5-day. All right, you can see she's had no volume at all. Well, you saw, it was 177,000 shares a day, and today she did 300 times as much. Now, it didn't hold much of it, I will grant you that. It went from, all right, the day opened up at 0078, and it went to 018. What is that? 008. So you're talking, oh goodness, 300%, 250% gain. And when did that hit? That hit at 9:40. So you could have caught this one before 10 in the morning. It had a bounce off of that low, or off of that high bubble, which is what I say. You expect a fall back. Just a fall back, a pull back off of a high button, and a bounce back if it's strong. Well, we got our bounce back, but it was very short-lived. Started to fall from there. So you had a warning here. You'd have probably got out here if you'd gotten into this, but there was no telltale signs. How would you have known? And you can see, let me see, about from there to there, this looks to be about the 50% mark, right about there. And she is far below it. Far below it, she's hung on to about 25% with no volume to talk about. MACD is flat. RSI is flat. Even though they just made a deal. So again, you've got another company here that people got excited about. They see income coming, but there's a lot of question marks. You actually get bigger bounces just telling them you're thinking about it than when you actually do it. How sad that is. But this is not sitting in any position to be looking at it for tomorrow. If it does something, it would surprise me. It's under the 50-day SMA, so I don't expect there's going to be anything with no volume and in its position that it's sitting in right now. So that wasn't exactly how I planned for it to go, to be honest. I had done this DD earlier in the day while I was looking for plays, and that's pretty much what it actually shows. Those stocks had hot points during the day, but it didn't carry on through the day. They didn't finish high like most of the stocks we look at. However, no DD is a waste. We saw stocks that had catalyst and lots of volume, but really didn't rise. I mean, they took a bounce and then came right back down. We saw stocks that had no catalyst at all, like NNXA, but it tore it up. Of course, it came down too. This was a down day on the whole market. In case you didn't notice, it was a bloody day. So to find any stocks that were tearing it up today would be lucky, would be really good. But remember, folks, anything you learn, how to read the charts, how to find stocks, how to research the stocks, it's all good for you. It's all good. The more you know, the more you're going to grow. See you, folks.